Do not pull that plant yet. I know what it looks like. The tomato at the edge of the yard is bent like it already lost the war. The leaves are yellow and curled like old paper. The flowers that opened last week have shut. The stem leans toward. The soil, like the plant, is begging you to end it. Most gardeners see that and do the same thing. They grab the shovel, they rip the plant out. They throw it on the compost pile. Then they walk back inside and say, nothing could save it. But that may be the most expensive mistake in the garden. Because a plant can look dead long before it is truly dead. Sometimes it is not finished. It is starving. Starving for potassium. Starving for nitrogen. Starving for calcium. Starving for magnesium. Or starving for the invisible life that should be working around its roots like a buried army. And while that plant is starving outside, your kitchen may be throwing away the rescue every single day. Onion skins, cloudy rice water, soft vegetables in the fridge, banana peels, eggshells, used coffee grounds, a spoon of blackstrap molasses, a bag of aged manure in the shed. Modern gardening taught people to buy fertility in plastic bags. Old gardeners knew fertility was already moving through the kitchen. The animals, the soil, and the trash can. These are 5 kitchen liquids that can rescue starving plants. Fast. 1 feeds weak flowers. 1 wakes dead soil. 1 brings nitrogen back like a green shockwave. 1 becomes a full-spectrum rescue brew. And the last is the giant teabag old farmers trusted before garden stores trained people to forget the soil. Make them wrong, and you do not save the plant. You burn it. Number 1. Onion peel tea. The amber elixir most people throw away. Every time you peel an onion, you are holding a little mineral packet in your hand. Then most people drop the strongest part into the trash. Those dry brown skins look useless. They are not useless. They carry potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, and plant compounds that help a stressed plant defend itself when heat, disease, and weak growth start closing in. Most people who know this still make the first mistake. They bury the onion skins in the soil. That is not wrong. It is just too slow. A plant already collapsing does not need food that arrives 3 weeks late. It needs minerals in a form the roots can drink now, so turn the peel into tea. Take a handful of dry onion skins. Drop them into a quart jar. Cover them with water. Let the jar sit for 24 to 48 hours. By the second day, the water turns amber. Like the kitchen has bled its minerals into the glass, pour that liquid around the base of a yellowing tomato, a pepper that stopped setting fruit, or a tired plant that still has life in the stem. Do not spray it on the leaves like perfume. Put it where the roots drink. This is especially useful when the plant is still alive but acting tired. The flowers are weak. The leaves are pale. The fruit has slowed down. The plant is not asking for a miracle. It is asking for the mineral drink you almost threw away. Within days, a starving plant can begin to push back. Leaves deepen, stems tighten, flowers stop falling like broken promises. The onion peel was never weak. You were just using it too slowly. Number 2, fermented rice water, the cloudy water that wakes dead soil. Every night, kitchens pour this down the sink like dirty water. That pale, cloudy water, after rinsing rice, looks like nothing. But underground, it can become a dinner bell for the living soil. Fresh rice water has starches and small minerals. It helps a little. But the real power starts when it ferments. Put rice water in a clean jar. Cover it loosely. Do not seal it like a bomb. Leave it at room temperature for 3 to 5 days. When it smells faintly sour, like the first breath of sourdough, the liquid has changed. Now it is not just cloudy water. It is carrying bacteria and wild yeasts. Tiny workers, invisible mouths. The kind of life-tired soil has been missing. Rice water does not feed the plant like a sandwich. It wakes the kitchen under the soil. It feeds microbes that help roots unlock nutrients already trapped below the surface. Fermented rice water is a soil alarm clock. Dilute it before it touches the garden. 1 part fermented rice water to 10 parts clean water, then pour it around the roots once a week. Do not use it straight, because it feels natural. Natural can still bite. The goal is not to shock the roots. The goal is to wake the soil without slapping it in the face when it works. The bed stops acting like dust and starts acting like a living place. Number 3. Vegetable scrap digest. The rotten fridge nitrogen your garden is starving for. Open the bottom drawer of any refrigerator, and you will find a little graveyard, a soft tomato, a limp cucumber, lettuce collapsing into itself, a pepper wrinkled like old leather. Most people see waste. A starving plant sees nitrogen. Compost is good, but compost is slow. A plant collapsing this week does not need a promise for next season. It needs food it can drink before the fight is over. That is where scrap digestate comes in. Take soft vegetables, wilted greens over ripe tomatoes, bruised peppers, old cucumbers, and spinach. Put them in a 5-gallon bucket. Cover them with water. Keep the scraps pushed under with a clean plate or stone. Cover loosely and let it ferment for 10 to 14 days. It will not smell like a garden center. It will smell like work. Dark, earthy, sharp, alive. Inside that bucket, vegetable cells are torn open. Nitrogen and minerals are moving into the water. The scraps are surrendering what the landfill was about to steal. This is the part modern homes get backward. The kitchen throws away fertility. The garden buys it back. The trash truck hauls off what the tomato plant was begging for. Then a bright bag at the store sells a weaker version, back to you with a label. Then dilute it hard. 1 part scrap liquid to 30 parts water. That number matters. This is not gentle tea. Too strong, and it can scorch roots. Sprayed on leaves, it can burn soft tissue. Poured against a young stem, it can punish the plant you meant to rescue. Use it at the soil, around the base, never stronger, because you are impatient. Done right. This is the green comeback drink. Pale leaves can deepen. New shoots can push from sleeping places. Your kitchen produces more fertility than people realize. Modern life sends it to the trash. Then the same person walks outside and wonders why the garden is starving. Number 4. The full-spectrum kitchen brew, the one most people almost make right. Sometimes a plant is not starving for one nutrient. It is starving in 5 directions at once. Leaves pale, flowers weak, fruit small, stems thin, soil tired and flat. The plant does not need a snack. It needs a rescue crew. This is where the kitchen brew comes in. In 1 gallon of warm water, add banana peels, finely crushed eggshells, used coffee grounds, 1 teaspoon of Epsom salt, and 1 tablespoon of blackstrap molasses. Banana peel is potassium in a yellow jacket. It helps flowering, fruiting, and the movement of water inside the plant. Eggshell is calcium locked in armor. Crush it fine, or it sits there like a stone pretending to help. Used coffee grounds are not the acid miracle people repeat online. After brewing, they are much closer to neutral. Their real job is organic matter, soil texture, worm food, and slow nitrogen. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. Magnesium sits at the heart of chlorophyll. No magnesium, no deep green engine. But do not worship it. It is a key only when magnesium is the locked door. And then comes the switch. Blackstrap molasses. Most people almost make this brew right. Then they leave out the ingredient that wakes the bucket. Molasses feeds the microbes. It rings the dinner bell. It turns a dead soak into a tiny fertilizer factory. Without molasses, peels and shells sit there slowly giving up themselves. Wheat molasses, the bucket starts working. Cover it loosely, let it steep 3 to 5 days. Stir it once a day if you can. When it smells earthy and alive, not rotten and evil, use it around the root zone. This is not garbage water. It is a kitchen-built fertility engine. And that is why this brew feels almost unfair. It takes 5 things the house was ready to discard and turns them into one living rescue drink. Potassium, calcium, organic matter, magnesium, microbial food. Not one magic bullet, a small army in a bucket. Number 5, aged manure tea. The giant tabag old farmers trusted before garden stores took over. Before fertilizer came in bright bags, old farms ran on compost, manure, water, timing, and memory. But the word that matters is H. Fresh manure is not old wisdom. Fresh manure is a loaded weapon. It can carry too much ammonia, weed seeds, and filth you do not want splashed around food crops. Put it on strong and fresh, and it can scorch a row before you understand why. Aged manure is different. Use aged chicken, cow, or rabbit manure. Chicken hits hard. Cow builds slower and steadier. Rabbit is the gentle old secret, milder and safer. For young plants, put the aged manure in an old pillowcase, burlap sack, or mesh bag. Tie it shut. Drop it into a 5-gallon bucket of water. Let it steep 3 to 5 days. Like a giant tea bag, the water slowly pulls out the soluble nutrients and leaves the rough material trapped in the sack. That is the beauty of the method. The plant gets the drink. The roots are spared the burn. Dilute it until it looks like weak iced tea. Around 1 part tea to 10 parts. Water is the safe line. Pour it at the root zone in cool morning or evening when the soil can hold the drink instead of losing it to heat. This liquid does not just feed the plant. It feeds the whole root zone. Now, here is the honest part. These 5 liquids are powerful because they are concentrated, and concentrated help can become concentrated damage. Natural can still burn. Free can still be too strong. Rotten does not mean safe. Fresh manure is not a shortcut. And not every yellow leaf is asking for the same cure. If the roots are black and mushy, fix drainage first. If the plant wilts in afternoon heat and stands back up by morning, shade and watering time may matter more than fertilizer. If disease is chewing through the stem, no kitchen liquid is magic. But if that plant is still rooted, still breathing, still trying, and only starving, the right liquid can be the difference between a shovel and a second harvest. That is the real lesson. The old garden was strong because almost nothing escaped the system. The onion skin came back. The rice water came back. The soft tomato came back. The eggshell came back. The manure came back. Modern gardening sells fertility-backed people in bags. Old gardeners cycled it before the store ever touched it. So before you pull that yellow plant from the ground, stop for 1 minute. It may not be dead. It may be waiting for the food you almost threw away. One honest note before we wrap this up. Some visuals are AI-assisted illustrations, and a few scenes are dramatized to make these old garden systems easier to see. But the limits and practical lessons are grounded in real gardening and home resilience principles. If you have one plant right now that looks almost gone, write the plant name below. Tomato, pepper, cucumber, zucchini, rose, whatever it is, and write the one liquid you would try first. Onion, rice, scraps, brew, or manure. Whichever problem shows up most, that is the next old system we rebuild. Because feeding one plant is only the beginning. The real skill is building a stronger, steadier garden that does not panic every time the store shelf gets expensive again.